Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah, recording. How's it going, cuz man? You good?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad.
Yeah, good stuff.
Feeling,
So,
feeling a bit ill, but trying to get on with it, man.
yeah, and I hope you feel better too. You know,
Thanks, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My first podcast.
Yeah, man. First one. Hopefully, the first of many, innit? You never know what this might become.
Yeah, definitely,
You
man.
know, there might be comments, man, in 5, 10 years from now, and people come back to this video and they'll be like, "This is where it all started." You never know.
Yeah, man.
You
And
never
the
know, man.
first one, it'll seem like when we look back years in the future, it'll be like, oh, they seemed a bit, it'll seem amateurish and that,
Yeah.
professional stuff in the future, and
Definitely, man.
yeah,
Definitely. But yeah, man, it's like you got my picture, right, innit, of the transformation. So I know
yes.
you want to talk to me about that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you've gone through a lot of, I mean, you've gone from before. You can talk about the recent one if, like, anyone you want, but you've
I'll
got,
talk about all of them, man. I'll talk about
yeah,
all. More importantly, I'll talk about all of them, and I'll explain why, my up and down with my weight and whatnot.
yeah,
I'll firstly start off when I was a kid. I was diagnosed with asthma at a young age. So when I was about 6 or 7, I think it was, and all these, the doctors gave me steroids to make my bones strong.
yeah,
Yeah. So and that made me gain a lot of weight and whatnot. Because as a kid, I was quite. You remember me as a kid? I was hyperactive and
yeah.
I was a hyperactive kid, and I've always been into sports and whatnot. So yeah, so I gained a lot of weight. So my diet never changed, but I gained a lot of weight. And then I got to about 15, and I started exercising properly, and I really started focusing on my nutrition. I wasn't concentrating on more like macronutrients and things like that. It was more eating less and cutting out sugars.
yeah,
So I had a rough idea, but I didn't know as much as I did now, basically.
yeah,
And then I lost all this weight, still training, and then a few years later, I gained it all back because I just stopped exercising. So I started boxing when I was 16. Stopped boxing when I was about 20. Gained all this weight, and I think it was again when I was about 23. Is when I remember I sent you that picture of my first, like, it was like, oh, like, this is how I look now. And I remember I went to, can I get abs in 3 months? And you were like, yeah, it's possible. But I didn't know, that basically you had to. It's an investment. A lot of people, they think, you can get ripped in 3 months, but you shouldn't put a time scale on it. Fitness should be a lifetime thing. You got to train for the rest of your life. If you enjoy it, you'll see results. You
yeah,
can't. Personally, I think, even when I was eating crap and I was gaining weight, I still did something
yeah,
because I enjoyed it. But yeah, and then basically I gained all this weight and I lost it again. Thanks to you, you helped me out. It's when I started talking to you about nutrition and stuff, and I used to go to you, yeah, but if I eat less calories, would I lose weight? And you're like, yeah, you would, but you started telling me to focus more on the quality of food.
yeah,
And the quality of food, because you can lose weight eating less, but I do think your body, you need to feed it with the right nutrition. You do for
yeah.
it to perform optimally.
You want to give the body what it needs as well, so that it's
Yeah,
not just the weight loss. Yeah, bring the calories down, but give your body what it needs as well. Like it wants enough protein, all the macronutrients that it needs, so
yeah.
that not just losing the weight, but being healthy doing it as well.
No, definitely, man. But yeah, no, I give thanks to you for that, because I mean, I remember I used to bombard you with questions every
Yeah,
single day. I was like, yeah, but if I do this, and then no, thanks, man. You were giving me this information for free, which you charge people for, but I guess that's the perks of being related to you, isn't
yeah,
it?
definitely. When you stopped exercising as well, did you
Yeah.
you find you ate more kind of bad quality foods or junk foods, like just did? Cause I
Yeah,
know you gained,
yeah, definitely, man,
yeah,
definitely. I did. I felt that when I started exercising properly, when I really got onto the more lifting weights and stuff, when I first came to you for that, I was eating crap. I was really unfit. I remember actually I was working on a building site, and there was a 20 kilo bag, and I couldn't even lift it over my head. That's how unfit I was.
yeah.
And now I can do triple that for reps, man. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like It's crazy how, and this is my point. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people, they want the quick results, and I was talking about this in my podcast actually. You know, you this is why I like Instagram and I don't like it, because you see all these transformations and you see not necessarily their transformations are good, excuse me, they're good, but I'm talking about, you see these bodybuilders and you see their profiles and they look like perfect, but people don't realize the man, you know, the diet it takes, the cardio, you know, not having cheat meals, and it's dedication, man. You don't just get that, you know, unless you're on a little something. Even still, you got to work for it.
Yeah. To get to that kind of, what was it, a magazine cover body?
Yeah, man.
Ripped, shredded. It takes a lot of work. If they're like, if you mean those competitions as well, where people think the competition, that they're only at that for a short time frame as well. Like that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fat as well, because like if it's like a bodybuilding competition, they spend that time dieting down for that show. So they're not that all year round, but of course they're mostly in shape year round, but not that, you know, where it's very low body fat.
Yeah, that's a good point. You bring that up actually, because everyone thinks like, you know, they always want that pumped look, but if you know them bodybuilders, I remember Dorian Yates was saying, did he get to like 4% body fat, and he was so lean that his feet were hurting because there was no fat tissue there.
Yeah.
But that went after he ate a couple of meals, you know. But you know, you can't look like that all the time. But you can still look like quite lean. I mean, you've got abs and stuff. You can see it, you know. So you can get that. But again, you've been training weights for how long? Almost 10 years.
Well, I've been a trainer for 12 years, and I guess before that, I was more on and off training.
Yeah.
Till I became more of a trainer. Because of course I was doing the martial arts before as well. But then when I became a trainer, that's when I did start doing more training. But about 12 years.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, man, we're talking about my transformation. I'll get back to mine, but you as well. I mean, when you started out, you didn't really have any muscle, and then you see how you are now. I mean, pound for pound, I say this all the time to everyone I speak to. You're probably the strongest person I know, pound for pound. You lift weights the same. Like people who weigh my weight, I'm close to 15 stone. You lift the same amount of weight how much I weigh, man. It's incredible. And I still think you should enter a strongman competition. I don't know why you haven't.
Yeah, no, you know, I'll sort out this shoulder because I've had a shoulder. And then maybe I'll go for it,
man. You should. You might lose the abs though, but nah, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I'll keep them. Don't worry.
Yeah. It's good, man. But yeah, no, going back to my transformation as well quickly. And then again, I gained weight again. This was after the few years I was bodybuilding, whatever. It was about a few years back. I gained weight, but then I went to the doctors because I started exercising, and I was putting on weight, and I was like, why? This isn't right. Remember I was saying to you as well. I think I've got an underactive thyroid.
Yeah.
And then I went to the doctors, and you know, and then they basically, I was in the normal range. No, I was in the lower normal range, but I was getting all the symptoms. You know, I was feeling down. I was feeling a bit depressed. You know, I was getting really bad anxiety, and I was getting dry skin. I was like, what is this? You know, I was gaining weight. I felt weak. I was actually, funny thing is, I was weightlifting, but I was losing muscle. And I was eating. You know, I was eating I was eating not the best food, but I was eating enough to be able to maintain I wasn't under eating. So I shouldn't have been losing muscle in theory. You know, my protein was still there. So it was straining. And I've gone to a private company now, and they checked my thyroids.
Yeah. And
basically they were going to me, my thyroids were low enough. Basically, the doctor was saying, I was speaking to a thyroid specialist, and he was saying it's a surprise that I never passed out because my thyroid was that messed up. Because I used to feel dizzy in the gym. I used to get really faint, and I was like, what is this? You know, what is this? And basically, I'm on levothyroxine now. It's like a thyroid medication, and my levels are going down. And I showed you the pictures, my transformation, and that was like 6 weeks, and I've lost a lot of inches off my waist already, man.
Yeah. Okay. No, go on. Sorry.
No, go on. Yeah, no, finish.
So you got this medicine for your like low thyroid. Did you change other stuff as well, or?
I did. Well, yeah, this is an interesting point. I was at a barbecue when I got back. I got back from Brazil, and I went to a barbecue, and I was talking to this trainer there. and he basically said, he was like, oh, I went to him, oh, what would you recommend for someone with a underactive thyroid? And I remember speaking to you, and you said something similar to this. He was like, oh well, I've trained this bodybuilder, and no, he never trained her, he knew her, and he basically said she cut out meat for a period of time, and she had an underactive thyroid too, and she lost a lot of weight. I was like, okay, fair enough. Excuse me, lost a lot of body fat, not weight, body fat.
Okay.
Because and so basically now for the past 6 weeks, I've become a vegetarian.
Okay.
Not just to see if it's will help and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I feel like it has. And the funny thing is, I've done a lot of research about this as well. And people with an underactive thyroid, if they go like their body needs carbs for some reason, I don't know the science behind it. It's just people with an underactive thyroid don't do too well on a ketogenic diet, which is weird because I've always thought that if you go on a ketogenic diet, you lose a lot of body fat because your body uses the fat as fuel. Generally for the people with normal functioning thyroids, that's normally the case. A high fat diet, ketogenic diet is good. It's good for you. You burn a lot of fat. But for me, I was on a ketogenic diet and I felt quite bloated. I was eating a lot of high fat, but not so. I was more carnivore diet, not ketogenic. I was more carnivore, so I was eating high fat, but I was also eating high protein as well, and it kept bloating me, and I felt like I was holding a lot of body weight. I mean, this might be rubbish what I'm saying. There might be no scientific evidence behind it, but I'm going off what worked for me, and for someone with like a normal thyroid like you, a ketogenic diet will, you'll burn tons of fat, I guess. But for me, it suited me more having higher carbs. I don't know why, but it's just, and I'm losing weight, so I don't know.
Did you were you tracking calories before, and like are you tracking it now? Just like total calories, just interesting.
I mean, I've always been one to track calories. I mean, again, because I'm not the most naturally lean person. So when I got really lean, thanks to you, when I got really lean at that time, when I first started lifting, I used to track everything. I mean, literally to like salt intake, and if I had a bit of ketchup, I would count everything to the gram, and that worked for me. So I've always implemented that philosophy in my nutrition. Weigh everything, count everything. But I mean, now whereas I've cut out the meat and I'm more plant based, I've way much. If I'm having a lot of bananas and carbs with a lot of fruits with like high sugar like bananas and whatnot, I would weigh them. But I mean, if I'm having I don't weigh my spinach, things like that, because it's what I mean. It's like what 50 calories, however much and how many grams, I'm not too sure. But it's not really worth weighing. So I know roughly what's going into my daily like calorie intake. But rice, potatoes, I weigh that stuff.
Yeah. So would you say the calories are the same as like before and after? Before and after the kind of going vegetarian, or do you think the calories are actually a bit lower as well?
I think, you know what? Some days, I mean, some days they are lower. Some days they're not. I mean, right now as well, what I'm doing is on recovery days, I'm eating more, and then on lifting days, I'm not. So I'm doing that. Sort of like small cuts and small bulks, sort of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do that.
Go on. Yeah, because I know normally what like from what I know, I'm not sure about the like having low thyroid in the meat, like cutting out the meat. I mean, everyone's different as well. Everyone does react different to foods as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's it is a factor. If it was making you feel bloated and not feeling great, having certain foods, whatever foods they are, definitely cutting them out.
Yeah.
Probably helps. Or cutting them out for a length of time. But normally I'd say it does come back to calories as well. Like
definitely.
Total calories.
Definitely.
So like any diet or way of eating, normally how they work as well is calories are less, and that helps the weight go down.
100%.
Yeah, but no, it's interesting.
No, definitely. I mean, like I said, it's maybe as well is if like the only reason I've said this when I can find a good butcher's and I can buy hormone-free grass-fed meat, I would eat meat again. And I do think the quality of meat it plays a big factor because the bloating and the stomachache, I don't get that anymore. If you're eating hormone like steak filled with hormones and things like that, and that they're fed with whatever they're fed with and not grass and it's not natural, you're gonna feel a bit crap in yourself. I think, if you're eating organic meat, grass fed, you're gonna feel a lot better. You are what you eat, ain't you? So
yeah, definitely. There's actually as well. I'm gonna couple of things as well. Having a lot of thyroid will mean your body's burning less calories day to day. Like your basal metabolic rate will be lower. So the way to get the weight to go down is to eat less than a normal person as well, like with a normal thyroid.
Definitely.
But I was going to come to as well. There's something. Have you heard of leaky gut syndrome?
Nah, never.
That's something might be worth looking into. I've got some notes on it somewhere I need to dig out.
Send them away. Send them away.
I will. But basically, like leaky gut syndrome is just where there's kind of little holes in like a part of the gut that's like food go through, like or certain foods that shouldn't, and that can affect the body as well. So that's it's worth looking into. I'll get my notes out and then.
Yeah, man, definitely. No,
I'll run over it with you.
Mean, there's loads of things, man. Especially like again, like what you're saying, it is all down to calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
If you've got and I've always said this, if you've got someone, like if you've got someone who's eating chicken breast, broccoli, and brown rice, but they're overeating, they're gonna get fat.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's hard to get fat on whole foods because it fills you up.
Yeah.
But that's why, like trainers like you, professional trainers, they tell people, eat whole foods and things like that. Because, and again, I do think, say with someone like me who's got a history of my weight's been fluctuating up and down, and my food habits ain't the best. At time, I've got a history of eating a lot of like Coca-Cola, drinking a lot of Coca-Cola, eating a lot of chocolates and stuff. So if you're telling someone to, you can eat this amount of chocolate but stay on your calories, you're going to be tempted to be like, oh, I'm hungry now. I've got no calories left. I haven't eaten nothing. Scuff. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Don't overeat. So whole foods is the way to go, especially if you've got a history of, your weight fluctuating up and down. But I do think you can be a bit flexible sometimes.
Yeah. You don't have to be like no. I mean, I tell everyone I train, you can like you don't have to just cut out anything unless if it really affects someone, they might want to cut it out. But they can have foods they enjoy, just not as much. Like if they're going for fat loss, and weight loss, they can't have too much of. Like actually, a client recently, we just got him to cut down. His sugars, his alcohol, and already he's seen a change just from because it was having a bit. I wouldn't call it excessive, but to get a result, it was a bit over, like having a bit too much. And to get a result, you got to make a change to get the result.
No, definitely.
The other thing I was going to whole foods definitely, and varied amount of food as well is another thing. Sometimes people have if someone's training a lot, they have the chicken rice.
Yeah.
And missing all these other foods. It's good to give your body a lot of different foods, nutrients.
Definitely.
So, normally I think there was something I read the other day. It said we eat the same foods normally. We get in a habit of eating certain foods, and actually we've got to take a step back. Think, what haven't I eaten in a while? Oh, I haven't had any cucumbers or tomatoes or.
Yeah. That's a good, very solid point, man. It's a very good point because I'm finding that now because I'm on a vegetarian diet. A lot of my foods consist on the same thing. I'm having whole wheat pasta. I'm having a lot of eggs, a lot of cheese. I'm fitting it in whatever. But it's always I was thinking to myself, what I should be eating I can eat more stuff. But I'm eating the same thing. But as long as I'm getting in the calories and whatnot, but it's getting quite boring. Do you know what I mean? So basically, what you're saying, just change it up a bit. Change it up.
Yeah. You got different types of nuts. You got quinoa.
Yes, exactly. I forgot about that.
Yeah, quinoa. Couscous. That's different again. Get peppers in your diet, garlic, onions, like these.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, definitely, man. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that. I was at shopping today and I didn't buy any nuts, so I remember to go tomorrow and get some.
Yeah, as long as you're not allergic, of course.
Nah, yeah. Well, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not allergic to nuts. Almonds and that. The best way to eat nuts is put honey on them and roast them. No, I'm joking.
That'll bump up the calories.
Yeah, we get about extra 1,000 calories there, innit? Just put all that honey on it.
I think sometimes a lot of people as well going for a result can be hard to take in like a bit of honey or sugar, like simple sugar or oils contain quite a lot of calories. And it's important like to lose the weight. Ideally you want to track just if someone's starting out, I know you've tracked before, you kind of got more of an idea how many calories are in.
Yeah, definitely.
If someone's just starting out, though, ideally it's good to track to get for them to get an accurate result of what they're having now, and then we can make tweaks on that.
Nah, definitely, man. And I do think, I mean, any of your clients, I think they should listen to you. They should I know because I've been there, when you hire a trainer and whatnot, and even with, when I was getting some advice off you, sometimes it's not, you don't do it on purpose, but you question the trainer's philosophy. But I mean, you got to remember, you're paying them for a reason.
Yeah.
You're paying them for a reason, and you sometimes just see where it goes. Listen to them. If they're saying, do this, cut this out, do this exercise, you've got to listen to them. Because again, I make a point and this is with you. I remember when it was my deadlift and my squat. This was years ago though. This was a few years back. And I went, my deadlift's not increasing. And then you're basically going to me, and you're going to me, how many times are you deadlifting a week? And I was deadlifting like 5 times a week, and I was squatting on the same day I was deadlifting, so I was maxing out. And and then you're going to me, well, maybe cut that back, do this, don't deadlift as much, and you're going to me, what's your diet like? And I went to, well, I'm eating less because I want to get. No, sorry, I went to, I'm doing a lot of cardio because I want to as well to get abs. And you went to me, no, maybe lower the cardio a bit, and just still do your recommended 20 minutes, whatever, but cut back on the cardio, maybe eat a little bit more and thing. And then what happened? My deadlift went up. So, I could have easily gone, yeah, but I'll keep doing cardio and not listen. And then I would have been, so sometimes you got to listen. If you're hiring someone, you have to listen to them. I think personally,
Yeah, no, definitely. Because again, what I recommend to someone is, from, I guess, my knowledge of what I've learned, I do everything for a reason as well. Like someone,
100%.
So yeah, of course, you're definitely overtraining, so your body won't have enough time to recover, which means you're not gonna get stronger as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, overtraining the body just you won't. You don't want to overtrain basically. Even a client I'm training now, he's got a holiday coming up. Wants to give it that push, so I recommended some nutrition changes, just simple changes. With the training, I actually recommended him. It was similar to you actually, because he normally does he likes having a run before doing the weights, so he could be in the gym for an hour and a half. And I was speaking to him the other day. He was saying, like, because I sent him an email, he was looking at it on his phone. He said to me, you're telling me to do first he said, I've lost 3 pounds, like it was like in a few days from
well done, that's good.
Changes, it works, like what I recommend works.
Definitely.
And he said, you're telling me to do like my cardio on a different day to the weights. I'm like, yeah. Reason is, you can hit the weights harder when you do the weights. You can lift heavier. You're gonna burn more calories per rep. You can get abs them up more. And B, like normally, so after 45 minutes, cortisol levels in the body can start to rise, which means basically you're going to going after that point where it's risen to a certain point, you're going to get less from your training the further you go, which makes it pointless. You're just better off. It depends on the goal as well. There's different.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
Or weight loss. You want to hit it as hard as you can, and then stop at a certain point so that your body can recover.
Yeah.
Keep hold of the muscle tissue, get your metabolism up. Burn fat tissue as long as you're doing nutrition changes, and then it's you're on your way. But as well, what you said as well, I think sometimes people can listen to a trainer, but then suddenly see something in a magazine or on TV, it says, you know what, this is what you're missing for you not able to lose weight. This will help you lose weight in like 8 days or something. And it's
exactly,
so sexy, and they feel like, you know, oh, actually this sounds good. This, you know, they've hype it up with the marketing and everything.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's
and they might get a short-term progress, but then something will, you know, it might be too extreme that they can't sustain it. So everything I give my clients is to kind of get the fat loss and sustain it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, man. And you know, it's proven, because again, when you used to give me advice about training and stuff, you would I remember you used to say to me, you were going, oh, let me design a workout plan for you. Let me do this. Let me do that. Because you know, like everyone's got to eat, man. You all got to make a living, but you generally care about the person's progression.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true, and it shows in the results. Because I remember you used to go to me, oh, have you been training today? And bearing in mind, I wasn't paying you nothing. You used to go to me, oh, have you been training today? And I was like, no. You're going, well, why, man? Come on, you got to train. You know that. So it's genuine. You know, it's genuine, and that's what makes you a good trainer. I know a lot of trainers who charge, you know, just because they're located in in the city of London, they're charging triple what you're charging, but they haven't got half the knowledge.
Yeah,
they don't know anything. You know, it's literally, they haven't got the experience. I mean, it's like with you. Again, you're probably you're the only person I know at your body weight who's lifted someone over their head with one arm.
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? With one arm. So if I was to say try and teach someone how to lift a person over the head with one arm, let's say, in theory I might, but I haven't got the practical knowledge to teach him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes if like you've got that proven level of strength, so you can take someone and teach them it. You know, you can't teach someone how to deadlift 300 kilos if you haven't done it yourself, or do you know what I mean? At say a high body weight, whichever. But you know, you can Turkish get up however much you can. You know, so you've got that experience. You know what I'm trying to say? It's, you know, you sometimes don't just look at a trainer because they talk the talk. You got to look at their proven track record. You know, especially at a certain body weight. At your body weight, again, you've got a high strength level of someone who weighs as much as I do. So that's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get. You know, I think the industry is coming up. Or at least I hope so.
Yeah, it is, man. It is.
Mostly good trainers out there, but there might be some, you know, they're, you know, not as good, but you know, most should be good out there. You know.
Yeah, no, of course, man. I mean,
there's a lot to learn out there. So you know, a good trainer will be doing courses, learning more.
Yeah, that's what you do. I mean, you're always doing whenever I talk to you, you always go to me, oh, come to this seminar with me, come to this, come to that. You're always learning, and that's what's taken you from when you first started to being able to lift a person over your head.
Yeah,
you know, and again, it didn't happen overnight. It's steady progression. It's like, you know, with me, you know, with losing that weight, whatever, with doing all this, even when, you know, competing and whatnot. A lot of people, I do think we're going back to what you said about the magazines. It looks, you know, and this is why social media, it's good to promote things like this, what we're doing, sending a message out to people. But I do think it does give that false indication to people, man. Like, you can get ripped in 2 weeks, because you can't, you know.
Not everyone can, not unless you're quite low body fat already.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, say someone like, you know, high body fat, you know, you've got to enjoy it. If you're not enjoying your training, or you're just training to fit in a dress, it's got to be a long-term thing. Like, fitness is, you know, you've got to look after your body, man. It can't just be because you want to fit in a dress or this and that, you know. I mean, that's my take on it. Maybe because I love working out, I love training, so it's not a chore for me. But you know,
I love it too. I know some people, I can see if they're not in, you know, regular training, some people don't enjoy. Well, they haven't really. I think for a lot of people, they might want to get in shape, like get into certain dress size. They haven't got.
But it's too hard.
I mean, sometimes some people don't bother, but no, do try. But you know, a mistake a lot of people do is they try it on their own, but they're doing the wrong thing. They've got good intentions, but they might, you know, just get on the treadmill for a run, but that's all they do each time, or just a cross trainer. It does get boring fast. You're not getting the most benefit. You know, you need to mix it up. You need to keep it. Have a long-term strategy as well. Like
definitely, man, definitely.
You might want to get a short-term result, but at the same time, if you can keep it going long-term, you can get in the shape you want to be and stay there. You know,
no, definitely, 100%.
You know, and normally you will feel like if someone hasn't trained before, it will make you feel like better as well. Like if I've had a bit of time off training for whatever reason, I might be bit busy with work and other things to focus on. Like when I got the house and stuff, I was a bit more focused on sorting that out. But you know, a few days without training, a week, 10 days, and actually I start to miss it because you know when I do train, it makes me strong, like fit, healthy, good for the state of mind as well.
100%. And this is all proven stuff.
Yeah.
Exercise is proven to reduce anxiety and reduce depression. It's proven.
Yeah.
It's proven, man. Like, you know, it's the best. It makes you feel good. Like, look, man, I think when you like people, we invest a lot in the outer shell, and when I mean this, I mean like clothes and nice cars and things like that. And exercising, you feel good, you look good, whatever. But with exercising, you're again, it's an investment. You're adding years on your life. You're cheating death. It's pretty much. We're all gonna die eventually, but you're prolonging that, man. And if you can exercise and add 10, 15 years to your life, and you get to see your grandkids, and you get, that's why wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I actually get people coming in saying, I actually want to be healthy for, they've got grandkids or whatever, and
yeah, exactly.
They can't keep up with them. Kids are running around. It's like, oh, I'll get out of breath. So
yeah, exactly.
That's a big reason a lot of people, want to start as well.
Well, who's that guy at your gym? He's about 70 years old, and I saw him. He was ripped to shreds.
Yeah. He
was just. I remember he was like, I was looking at me, and I think me and you were doing deadlifts that day, and he's going from one machine to another. He's doing leg raises, pull downs. I was like, whoa! And I went to him. I was, who's that guy? And you and he's whoever, and he's about 70 years old. I was like, wow. The guy looked about 50.
Yeah,
50. Yeah, and that's what exercise does to you, man. It just makes you look young. It keeps you fit.
It does help keep you young, definitely. It's
you wouldn't believe I was 70 years old.
I'm 100. No.
Yeah, exactly. No, but you know what I mean, man. It does. But yeah, going off exercise for a minute, I was going to say, cause as well. What about martial arts, man? You going to get back into it, or?
Yeah, I do. I will get back into it at some point. Again, just it's busy. It's a bit harder. I'd rather go to like classes, but then in the evenings. My busiest times at the moment are like early mornings and evenings. So it gives me less time for that. At the moment as well, I'm recovering from a shoulder like niggle that I've had. So that's on the mend. So I wouldn't do it now with it in that state. So yeah, plan is get this fixed. And
then got it, man.
And then free up some evenings somewhere so that I can. My clients will be like, "No."
Yeah. I mean,
but I'll find a way around it.
Nah, definitely. I want to get back into martial arts. I want to start boxing again, but I'm really itching to do jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah.
You know why? I think it's because I've been boxing since I was a kid, and I still love boxing, I do, but jiu-jitsu, I want to do it because the idea of it scares me because it's new.
Yeah.
And when I go in there, I know I'm just gonna get rolled around and choked out, but I want to do it because I know it's you're treading on new water, man. It's literally it's just a new world. So I wanna give it a go because my Tolga and Tunch, my brothers, they did jiu-jitsu for a while. When they were kids, and I was telling them, I was going, man, if you stuck to it, they started jiu-jitsu when they were 12. Imagine if they both stuck to it, they would have been first dan, second dan by now in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things. I'm trying to get them back into it as well, to jiu-jitsu. But yeah, that's because I know you were doing it for a period of time, weren't you?
Yeah. I really enjoyed I was doing more Brazilian jiu-jitsu. No, really good on the mat. It's so technical. There's a lot to learn in it. So of course, of course, it's not all about strength. It's more about technique.
Exactly.
You know, of course, love watching a bit of UFC as well.
Watch the Khabib fight next week.
Yeah.
Khabib, man, he's an animal. He's so good. Do you reckon? You know what?
Undefeated as well.
Yeah, he is. He's got, again, with Khabib, he's from a wrestling background, ain't he? So he's got a good ground game. But I do think if he fights Nate Diaz, I think Diaz can upset him, man. With the jiu-jitsu background. But I don't. I don't know about jiu-jitsu and stuff, so I might be talking out my arse. But I like Nate Diaz as well. He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
His work ethic's incredible, man. He does triathlons and stuff, don't he?
Yeah.
They're good.
It's great fitness. He's never gassed out in the cage.
What did you see him his last fight? He was just. It's like he's not been out for 3 years.
Was that recent? Was that right?
Yeah, it was recent, and he just looked like a again investing. He works out, he eats clean, and he looked like a 20-year-old fighter.
Yeah. Well, how old is he now? Do you know how old he is?
Say that again.
Do you know how old he is? I don't know.
Diaz is 35.
Yeah.
You know, and he smokes weed as well. But yeah, that's his thing, man. You know, he smokes weed, he does. But I mean, you know, he exercises and he keeps fit.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's about. I like to think of it as well as like, you know, like having a shower. You have a shower to be, smell good, you feel good. I like to think of it as going to the gym as well. It's just that if you can make it part of your lifestyle, like people, you're just going to feel so much better. It's not. You can make it fun as well. I think sometimes people think as well exercising is a a chore, or it's like
definitely.
Once you get into it, there's loads of different ways you can train. Once you find a way that kind of fits you,
100%.
I'll get people who've signed up with me. They've never done anything before. Like after 12 weeks, they're like, I've got to keep this going. It's like I feel different, like a different person. And actually, if I don't train for a while, I'll probably start to feel normal. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That keeps me going. With training and.
No, definitely. And I do find as well when you stop training. I mean, even me, when I stop, I haven't been training for a couple of days now, and I know for a fact when I start again next week, I'm gonna feel weaker. When you stop, it's annoying. Yeah, of course. But yeah, going back, I was 10 years old. I've been doing the same, but like Joe Rogan and training philosophy he does. He never goes to failure. I've started doing that for the last couple of weeks, and slowly, I feel like I'm progressing and stuff. But I've got the name of. Let me see find the name of it. What's his name? Pavel. It's Pavel something.
Satsalone.
Say that again.
Pavel Satsalone.
It might be, yeah. And basically, he just, it's good philosophy. You're basically, you do something every single day.
Yeah.
You know,
he's got. Did you get one of his books, or was it?
No, I looked up online, but I will definitely invest in one of his books, man. And I do think, if someone, like I said, there's information out there, but you can't, which you don't have to pay for, but you can't, if sometimes you got to pay for good information, like, again, for yourself, you're a personal trainer, and if someone wants the best, you got to sometimes pay.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to. It's like me, I want to start boxing again. Forget boxing, jiu-jitsu, if I want to get really, really good at it, and if I'm serious about it, I'll hire someone one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because they know more than me. And it's
yeah.
like, it's one of those things. So, but yeah, man, we'll see.
Yeah, but I brought some of his stuff, and that's actually, I used, I learned the pistol squat, one-legged squat. That's
yeah.
Yeah, I remember I had the DVD. It was like, and you slowly progressed to getting. So of course, pistol squat. You're basically on one leg, and you go all the way down.
Yeah.
And then back up. A hard move, but once you practice it enough, like anything, you get better, you get stronger, and then you can do it.
No, definitely, man. And I do think it is consistency. Again, the people, especially with exercise or life in general, man. If you're not going to get good at something overnight,
you're
not going to lose weight overnight. And again, this is why you have to enjoy it. If you're not enjoying, career, working out, whatever, you got to change it. You know, you have to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it. And I don't think, you know, at its best, I think every single person on earth will enjoy exercise.
Yeah.
If it's accustomed to their likes and needs. Like if you had someone who, you know, who didn't like weightlifting, say, I mean, you should weightlift and do cardio, you know, mix it up. But say if you had someone who didn't like weightlifting, you wouldn't structure a weightlifting program around them. You'd add it in, but you would, you know, fit more around of what they, you know, would want to do. And then slowly, when they get, you know, make exercising like a daily habit, then you might gradually, you know, incorporate weightlifting and whatnot. But you got to, you know, I think there is an exercise routine out there for everyone, you know.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you've got so much different equipment, you know.
Yeah, man.
You can do bodyweight training, you can do kettlebells, wipers, you know, just resistance machines. There's
Definitely.
There's a lot of different stuff out there.
Definitely, man. Even like, look, man, when we used to go 5-a-side, that was tiring.
Yeah, 5-a-side.
You know, things like that. Use that as your cardio, and then sign up with Seral, and then do like a circuit training and weightlifting thing with him, and you know what I mean, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, definitely,
man. I remember when was it the last time I trained with you? I think it was a while back when we trained for 2 hours and we got a workout hangover or something. You said, what was it?
Well, what did we do? Was it
we sparred for about an hour, and then we did weights, and I was so tired. I remember I felt drunk the next day.
Yeah. I think we did a lot more in that day, in that workout, than we have done for a while, and it was
definitely.
The mix of weights and the card, like the sparring, boxing sparring as well. I think it was just a lot. We did a lot more than the bodies we used to, so that's why we had that feeling the next day. Yeah. It was like a bit too much.
Correctly, I remember correctly. I felt worse than you.
Is that no? Go on. Say again.
No, I was saying, if I remember correctly, I think I felt worse than you.
Did you?
I felt bad, man.
Yeah.
You know, like you have a hangover. it was horrible.
Yeah.
It felt really bad. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Cause I feel end this here, man. And
fine.
Yeah, that was good. We'll definitely, man. We'll probably record the next video. I don't know, in a couple of days or something. We'll get to everyone and see how things go, man.
Yeah, and I'm gonna start doing some recordings like myself as well. Get a regular podcast going.
Yeah, definitely.
Giving tips on just training tips, some nutrition tips, like all different stuff for weight loss and yeah, it'll be good for everyone out there.
Yeah, no, definitely, man, definitely. Yeah, and obviously I've got a YouTube channel as well. I'll leave a link down below. If anyone wants to follow it, it's called the Genetically Screwed Podcast. So go on YouTube, hit me up. Gonna have the same. So mine's not more about fitness. I do talk about fitness, but it's more about life and every day other things. So yeah, subscribe to me on YouTube, and
excellent.
Me and Sal will do a lot of collabs in the future. Definitely, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'll put the link when I haven't even started my channel yet, but I'm gonna start it. Of course.
I'll put your link up as well.
Yeah, I've got my, of course, YouTube OptiFit PT. I've got different videos on there, various things, but I'll do I'll get the podcast on there as well. But
definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Nah, definitely. All right then, cuz. Nice one, man. Take care.
Good chatting, Ty.
Yeah. See you soon, man. All the best. Take care.
It's Friday. Hey.
Take care, man.
Yeah. Take care. All right.